what's going on, guys? Bflattened here with a brand new video today. Today we're going to be talking about the ever-shifting tower and a guide for it. Now, I've seen speed runs of this before, but I haven't really seen a step-by-step guide. So let's go ahead and get this started, shall we? When you first enter the room, you're going to be seeing a choice of Tem to pick. Generally, you'll always get the Ryber, the Platypit, or the Spreel. However, this was sent to me by a person in stream chat at the current moment. Melly, thank you so much for the photo. Sometimes, in a rare instance, you can get yourself a Smolzy as a starter. This is very rare as I've never seen it before, so I appreciate the photo. But generally, you want to start off with the Spreel. And the reason why you want to pick the Spreel is because the Platypit by itself is not really that great. The Ryber by itself is not really that great. And you don't want to be wasting a mini monolith on any of these Tem. The Spreel is only really solid because it gets revitalized, so it can start healing either itself to save it, or whatever Tem you end up picking up along the way. If you end up getting mini monoliths that you can't use on anything, then you can get a Cerneef, and it's pretty solid for a tank. We're going to go ahead and take the Spreel. This one is actually very weird because usually the special attack is higher. However, with higher attack, that allows us to get access to Frond Whip, which will be a big damage hitter. So we're going to go ahead and do the Sharp Leaf for turn 1. We'll do Allergic Spread just to have it. Revitalize for the heal, that's the most important, and then Frond Whip. So, as we're going through, we get 3 items to start. I got 2 Tem card X's, Mini Monolith, and usually it's like a heal or something. Yeah, 2 Bomb Pluses. So what we want to do is we want to explore the map as much as possible. So wherever you are on the map, it'll open up rooms as you go ahead and explore and open them. The goal in the design is try to fight as little trainers as possible and only take on required and mandatory trainers so that you can get through as quickly and easily as possible without any damage. Now, you want to hunt for the ladder and you want to hunt for the boss, because those are the 2 requirements that you need. The boss will have a little Pansun sign above its head, and the ladder will be the ladder to go into the next room. So the goal right now is we got to look for the red doors, because the red doors are unexplored areas. If you've seen the room and if they're white doors, you've entered that door from that side before. We have ourselves a shop and a free room in here, so this is just a whatever room. You don't have to worry about it too much. Now we need to go ahead and use our Tem card X's to catch Tem that are furthest away from the spawn. Generally, the further that you are away from the spawn, the higher level the Tems, sometimes even the better Tems that they are. So this room here is not really that great to be in. It's going to be kind of a dud. However, if you are kind of tricky with your keys, you can sometimes sneak out items if you're knowing what you're doing. Always assume that a person that is looking in the direction that they're facing, that they can travel through the entire map, even if they're off screen. So always keep that in mind. They can travel very, very far, and always assume that they have that long vision. A neat little thing and a neat little trick, I could probably show you guys a little bit later if I enter that room, is if there's an item in their way, no matter the size of the item, like a box or a file or whatever, they cannot look past that. That is where their vision stops. So we could probably sneak this item here, and then we got to go back and around the other way. So we got 2 Tem card pluses for free. We go back the other way. We don't bother with him. Gladly, the spawn point always has about 4, 5, sometimes 6 doors. So you get a lot of options to go in the direction. Here is just a grass area. No other signs of danger. Let's go ahead and just peek the grass and see what we get. It is a Skunch. We'll go ahead and check the level. It's not too far from spawn, so it'll probably be anywhere between 50 to 64. Yep, that's something that we don't want. Ideally, we're looking for Tems that are level 63 minimum or above. 63 minimum or above. Now, as you play the Ever-Shifting Tower more and more, you'll be able to tell which ones are the free rooms, because there are some rooms that are just designated as free rooms, as in there's nothing in them. This is one of those rooms where it's just a free room. You pass along a bunch of different doors. Ideally, it's there for whenever you need to get more options. Now, the thing about this trainer here is that it's facing in this direction over here. The way that you could tell Let's go ahead and get a little closer. The way that you could tell where they're facing, look for their elbows. If their elbows are pointy, that's their backs. They're going to be facing the other direction. So this person here is looking diagonally this way so that I can't go this way into this door. However, I can go in the bottom, and I can also grab the Tem Essence file in case I need it. So this is a good room for me because I can grab that, and I can still move on. A little trick to pay attention to. This room is just a pure dud room because you can't go past, and you can't grab the items for free, so we just don't bother with that. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pass this room here. I don't think I can, so I'm not going to bother with that. A little too risky for me. Gladly, we still have 2 more doors to look into our spawn here. Let's go ahead and check those out. There's a few tricky rooms that you can, I guess, sort of abuse. If we ever get to those areas, I'm going to show you what we could do with those. That's a free item for me. That dude is looking down here. We can't go that way. So let's go back down this way, go into this door. This was our stunch room. And now we're looking into spawn here. Keeping an eye on the map, I would say, is quite ideal. This guy is guarding that item. We don't bother with him. He's blocking that door. We move on. Those are what's considered non-mandatory fights. And this guy is blocking this door. Okay, so now we have to make a choice. We're in a little bit of a dilemma here. This room is blocked. This room is blocked. That's a free room. I think we have to go back to that other room with the diagonal facing trainer. We're going to try and do a sneaky little move. You feel free to slow down the video in case you need to see what move I do. The idea here is that we're going to be hugging the wall as hard as possible to try to abuse the vision a little bit. It's not easy to do, but it is doable. So we'll see if we can pull it off. I'm not the greatest at it, so if I get pulled over, then don't blame me. But I'll definitely try my best. Back in this room. Let's go here. This is the Tem Essence file room. So what we want to do is we want to hug the wall as tightly as we can. We're right up against it. Can't go anymore. Let's go this way, and we just sneak inside. There you go. Because of her slight diagonal, we were able to sneak by. So this is one of those rooms that I was talking about where the item actually blocks the trainer's vision. Normally this trainer could see all the way to the wall if that wasn't there. But if I stand right here, he can't see me because the Tem Essence file is in the way. Unfortunately to say, this is another dud room, and I can't do much here. I hate to say it, but this is unfortunately a really bad, instance. And every once in a while, you'll well get a bad instance, as much as this guide is going to be about an 80 to 90% win rate, if you follow along with what I've been doing. But there's always going to be that opportunity where a bad instance happens, and I believe this is going to be one of them. So I don't really have much of a choice. The choice that I have to make is I have to go into this room down here to unlock it. So I'm going to have to fight that guy. It's the only way that I can move on, unfortunately. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this scunch here, as much as I don't want to, because I need a second Tem. I'm going to grab this scunch here. It's only level 58, sadly. We have 2 Tem card pluses. We're going to bonk it. You know what? No. We're going to throw a Tem card plus at it right away. And the reason why, let's see if it catches. See if I can back up what I'm about to claim. It doesn't. I'm going to say it anyways, though. The reason why I did that was because catch rates in the ever-shifting tower are actually increased. So whatever you're used to in the normal Tem world, don't apply those because it's actually quite increased in here. Got to make sure that you know that before you throw the card. Sometimes you might need to bonk a scunch, or bonk, whatever you're using, fighting, and then you gotta do it. And you can go from there. Ninja Jutsu, Ido Uchi, Savage Suplex, Perfect Jab to start. Fortunately to say, I gotta go fight that guy because it's considered mandatory. Most of the time, this will not happen. This is just a really bad instance on my part. Fortunately, this is where the recording is. Flash and Size Munch. This is a really, really bad instance. Gladly, these guys are only level 47, though, so that's actually really good for me. I have noticed that at times, whenever there's these forced garbage instances, they are quite lower in level. So gladly our Scunch is not going to affect me too badly here. Go ahead and hit this, and we'll Hido Uchi this. It's still unfortunate that I needed to spend a Tem card on the Scunch to catch it, because it's not really what I would consider a carry Tem. And that's another thing that we have to look for as well whenever we have more grass options, is what is going to be our carry Tem. Carry Tems are going to be things that are going to be like your sweepers, the things that are going to be very important for you later on. Those are usually going to be our high levels. Azrat, that could actually be a pretty good sweeper for us. Let's see what level it is. 58. No, it's too low level. We move on. So now we have options because of that battle. So let's go ahead and take a look in here. Our first option. So this room here, this guy will always look this way and guard that item. That one will always guard that item. You do have an option for this grass over here. This is a pretty common instance room. There's a Gouldor. Gouldor has been really good from the times that I've used it. Pretty solid tank. This one's only level 58, unfortunately. Too low level for what we need. Scunch being level 58 is going to hinder me a lot on the next two floors. Speaking of floors, we found the ladder. Grab that. That's a mini monolith. And we have some options here as well. So this girl is guarding that. We have some grass. Since we're far away from the spawn now, we also found the boss over here. Cool. So this is the boss room, and also the room before is our ladder room. There's a Neslin here. Nesla gets access to Aquatic Whirlwind. That's a pretty good hitter. Level 66. That's not bad, actually. I want to see a few more options first, just to balance what I got going on. Oh, there's another mandatory trainer here to fight. However, it may not be, because we have one more room to look at. Let's go ahead and look at this room first. Trainer over there, that's fine. That item is being guarded, so we can't go over there. We can go over here, and we can actually fight the boss this way. So, because we explored around a little bit, you see how we don't have to fight that trainer anymore? What we can do is we could explore this room now. We have an item, Tem card plus plus, very good for us. Let's go ahead and look in the grass here. Gerald. We can evolve this into Tortonite with our mini monolith. It's level 66. It's not a bad crystal option for us. We'll keep that in mind too. What is everything looking like here? Okay, that's pretty much our full scaled map. We have the entire room looked at. We have our boss. We have our ladder. So now what we're going to do is, I think this is where we take on boss. But first, we're going to go ahead and Tem up. So I'm going to catch the Sherald here, actually. And I'm going to go catch the Sherald here. We'll evolve it into a Tortonite. Level 66 Tortonite will be very good for us, typing-wise, and just in general. It'll be a great Tem to have. We'll grab the Nesla just because of the Scunch holding me back a little bit. Hit it twice. Bonk and bonk. And that's going to be in perfect range for what we want to do. These spikes, that's okay. We're going to go ahead and Tem card plus plus it. We're going to keep our Tem card X's for when we go to, say, floors 2, floor 1, that sort of thing. Keep in mind that there is only 3 floors, so it's not like you're going to be in here for 9-10 years or whatnot. Doesn't really matter what we're going to do here, because we're going to evolve it. Use our mini monolith on it. Up. We evolve this to our Tortonite. And now all of a sudden we have a really good Tem on our hands. Now, we had a shop earlier, and a good thing to get in the shops aren't actually held items, if you can so help it. Some of the better items to get inside the shop are things like the essences, because you can get hundreds of TVs with the essences that you pick up. As you notice that there is no TVs on any of the Tems that you will ever pick up. So dumping on a lot of TVs will give you a huge advantage for whatever you're going to end up fighting. We'll do Toxic Gas, Rotten Goo, Quartz Shield, and Crystal Spikes just to have that. Now I'm going to take that Nesla, and then I think we're ready for a boss. Nesla's over here. I do have to keep one thing in mind, though, and also I would suggest you guys keeping this in mind too, is always have your Tem Essence files in mind. And what I mean by that is, before you move on to the next floor, you won't have a free heal when you move on to the next floor. It's whatever condition you're in, that's how you move on. If, say, for example, you have a Tem Essence file or 2 available, have one before the boss, have one after the boss, so you can get in there pretty fresh. Now we have a pretty decent team with the Aquatic Whirlwind. We have the Chain Lightning we can have. We'll do Thunderstrike, Electric Storm. I'm going to Tesla Prison over the Chain Lightning instead. Now we got 4 Tems as a team. The first boss generally has anywhere between 3 Tem minimum, and I've seen all the way up to 5 Tem because I've been very unlucky before. This Tem Essence file, we do remember, is free. Let's go ahead and go back and revisit there. And once we do, then we'll be ready to take on the boss and move on to the next floor. Trying to make this as quick as possible because I know that this is a very long video, but I want to be as precise as possible too. We do also know where our free store is, so after we beat the boss, in this instance here that we have, I would suggest beating the boss, going back to the store, and then buying as many of those essences as possible before moving on to floor number 2. Because of how this ended up, we actually took what looked like an unwinnable situation. Now it actually looks winnable. We've geared up with 4 Tem, we're fresh on the board. We have a shop ready for us after we beat the boss to move on to floor number 2. Just by taking time and exploring, looking for all of our mandatory fights, our non-mandatory fights, turn things around pretty well. I'll give you guys a display of the battle as well, because there's one more thing about the boss to note. The thing about the boss is that it's going to have the Pansun symbol over its head. You don't have to interact with the boss. If the boss has vision on you, the boss will come to you, just like any other trainer. So keep that in mind too. Let's go ahead and see what our first boss has. Arachnite and Kinu, probably going to be Protector Kinu. First boss I've noticed always has like level 62 Tems, 58 to 62. These ones have 65 because I'm unlucky. This is Benefactor. Let's go ahead and hit this. Gladly, they only have 3 Tems on their side, so we're pretty good. When it comes to battles as well, you got to keep in mind one more thing I would suggest. Oh, that poor Scunch. One more thing to keep in mind as well is none of us have TVs, and we're also very low level. So keep in mind that stamina is going to be very, very low. If you have stamina reducing moves are going to be huge, 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 huge. Getting them to OX will be a battle changer, and it'll be also taking unwinnable scenarios and also making them winnable. Things like Stare is pretty nice, Intimidation is pretty nice, anything of the sort. I want to do a big thank you to a couple folks that have been doing this with me all week, giving these tips, tossing them over my way, and also just the experience that I've been having myself all week. Brinkley and Sifton. You guys are fantastic for what you've been doing and helping out. Appreciate you guys a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and take the OX here because I want to kill the Kinu. The Kinu is going to be important to kill here. I was afraid of the Lifeful Sap. The Spreel is kind of just there as a revive fodder at the moment. It's also level 75 as well, so it's going to be the highest Tem on the board. Highest level Tem on the board. Move Flank is in. This is our last Tem to deal with. It does have Hurry Wart. And while we're here, we might as well talk about this as well. When you're catching Tem in the wild for this game mode, keep in mind that some abilities do appear on screen. So if you're looking for a certain leveled one or a certain one with a certain ability, what you can do is you can encounter multiple of these things. So you can run away from one and the grass won't disappear. So if you're looking for a move flank, for example, with Hurry Wart appears on the screen as soon as it enters the battle. So that's how you know that that's the one you want to catch. Momo is another one. Snowstorm procs right away. That's how you know that that's the right one that you want to catch. I think I've covered pretty much everything that there is to cover. We're going to revitalize this. And we're going to Rotten Goo this. Cover pretty much all there is to cover about the ever-shifting tower. Remember, there is 3 floors. If you win and get out of there unharmed, you walk away with 240 feathers. And it's great because 240 feathers is about as much as you get from the Archtamers, and you can do this as many times as you have tokens, rather than the Archtamers, which is only once a week. Let's go ahead and throw in the Nesla. This is one of these scenarios where I wish I had a Tem Essence file that was free. I may end up taking on another trainer just to fight for a Tem Essence file before moving on to the next floor. Other than that, these are your guides, basically. From there, I would just say explore, explore, explore. You'll learn some things and pick up some things as you go as well. I wish everybody luck on the ever-shifting tower. It looks like this is going to be a victory for me. Very excellent. Hope you guys enjoyed the guide. My name is Bflattened. I'm signing on out of here. Take care, all. Laters. I'll give you the satisfaction of the victory first. There we go. You guys take care. My name is Bflattened. I'm signing on out of here. Take care, all. Laters.